record it to this computer. Okay, welcome. So what we're gonna need for this workout is, oh, I didn't have to bring a bench or anything. So maybe a chair or something. We're just gonna do a little bit of stretching. So, that can be your couch or coffee table. And just looking at it, we're gonna really go over the clean and work on the mechanics of it. To, we're always gonna be able to clean up our clean. So we're going to do that, then find a little every minute on the minute. Then we're going to come on in and do some doubles. Okay, if you have doubles, if not, you can use a heavy goblet clean. And then, yeah, we have a nice little cardio at the end. All right, so let's go ahead, come on to our mats. We're going to use movement while we're going, and I invite you to just use your orientation practices that you have that we've done. Rather than pausing and doing them, we're going to do them while we move. Okay. So being able to come into your five senses and then just noting sensations that you feel during these so that you can get to learn on where you are today and how am I going to apply this to my work. Okay. So we're going to start off on our mats with just some inchworm flow. Okay. So come on in. We're going to do 2 rounds of an inchworm flow. So just coming in with a nice big reach and opening, coordinating your breath. And again, just on your own time, looking around the room, noticing what it is you hear, how this floor feels, how your skin feels on your clothes. All right. From here, bring one leg up, track those fingers, noting the sensations that this brings in your body, noticing how plank feels. How do your hands feel on the floor? Is there any smells that you notice? Sounds? Bring that into a down dog. Oh, pulling that or pushing those hands back towards those feet, pulling into nice goblet. There's no goblet, but a prying squat here. Forward fold that again and spinal roll up. Go for a nice big inhale. Exhale. Walk that out till you find plank. Bring that leg up. Track those fingers. Notice how that shoulder and that hip feel. Bring that back over to the other side. Tracking those fingers. Up, over, and around. Finding plank. Shooting back into that down dog. Feeling that nice stretch through the backside of the body and through the lats. Maybe widening your stance, pushing away the floor, bending the knees as you need, and then finding yourself a nice pull into the squat. Some footwork there, so into that big toe joint, some nice stretches into the ankle. Forward fold and spinal roll that up. Beautiful. All right. So take some inventory. How's the body feeling? What did you learn? And we're going to come on into a warm up. You're going to want a nice light kettlebell for some windmills here. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Well, the glute bridge march, maybe we'll use it too. So, going to get a timer going on. We're going to start off on some side plank. Okay. Oh, there it is. All right. Seeing you guys there. You're going to go ahead, find that shoulder over top of your elbow. All right. Coming on in, you can start off on your knee here if you want. What you're going to do is bring a nice rotation. Find yourself in plank. Get those hips facing the floor, those hip bones, right? The front hip bones. Then you're going to go ahead and just alternate these. Okay, if you need to, you put your knee down, the leg up, whatever way is going to feel right for you. But just really pushing away the floor, making sure you're breathing. And again, you can track those hands Be aware of the sensations of what this feels like rather than the cues. Okay, so we know we want to keep that side away from the floor, and we know when we come to plank, we want to have that rib cage stacked and hips facing towards the floor. But I want you to feel what that feels like so that you can be aware of like the sensation so that the body can start to speak in its language, not necessarily being dictated by what the mind says that it should do. Go ahead, take a nice little reset, maybe some child's pose in a circle each direction before we move to our next move, which is going to be a glute bridge march. And invite us to bring our kettlebell along. Okay, so come on in, bring that into your chest. Let's press it up over here just to help us find our core. Okay, so almost like you're pulling the handles apart. Feel the squeeze into the floor and those shoulder blades. Take that nice big inhale, exhale. Feel that core turn on, and we're going to glute bridge up and down. Really careful that you're not moving that pelvis or that rib cage. Okay, so find that stack, bubble wrap it with your air pressure. Okay, let all the little stabilizers work. Okay, and then from here, hold up. I want you to start to notice your feet. So can you push the big toe joint into the ground and drag your full heel back and feel the backside of the body working here? Okay, so let's take some breaths here. Really notice that that lower abdominal is on. And then just bring that inhale here, exhale, with a realization of those hamstrings pulling down, the feet pushing away the floor, and just working through that sensation of feeling that. Good. From here, we're going to go ahead, maybe bring one leg just into the center a little bit more. And this one's going to be like a dead bug. I want you to bring yourself to what you felt in your foot. So push and drag and just lift up slightly. And we're just going to hold here and breathe. 3 breaths. And then bring that down. Maybe shake that hamstring out, give it a nice little rock. We really are working these arms, holding this weight up here as well. So just give that a little bit of a breath and a thank you and a realization. We're going to go ahead, opposite side here. So bring that more into the middle. Think about that foot, what you felt, that big toe and a slight drag. Feel the hamstrings and push away the floor. Doesn't have to go very high. Okay, and use that breath to help nail in what that feels like. So this is our orientation to sensations in space. So what does this feel like? Okay. From the inside out. Go ahead. Maybe bring that into a nice leg swing again, thanking that hamstring, that part of your body for showing up, and just noticing what that felt like to have the tension, and then you're the person that let that tension go. So we'll just go ahead. Let that go. Maybe notice how light the arms feel after holding that up. Maybe they want a nice little shake out. Really have woke up some sensations in our body. So let's just go ahead, rock through the spine for a couple times to find ourselves up into a seated position, maybe even cross those legs and reach forward. Nice big inhale into the low back here, into the lats, and a let go. Do that one more time. Now just sit up and notice what leg was out front. Okay. We're going to go ahead and rock back in. And next time we're going to have the opposite leg go out front. Okay. So just a couple. Maybe you want to cross that leg over right now as you're rocking. Your goal here is to just really make that nice and smooth. On the third one, come on up. Forward fold. Come for some breaths. One more breath. Beautiful. We're going to come and bring ourselves onto our tall kneel, and we are going to do some windmill rock backs. Okay. So we're going to find ourselves in that where we've wipered in the Turkish get up. Okay. So we'll have our heel and our knee lined up. From here, before we even add weight, let's just feel what it feels like to rotate towards that leg to the side, because that is the initiation of this. So taking that rib cage and rotate, taking that foot that we had in the glute bridge, what do we notice here? Okay, what do we feel? That's what we want to do. Let's go ahead and put our arm up. I want you to notice a straight arm compared to a bent arm. Feel the difference when it's soft or when it's fully on. So that arm should be up. And then we're going to rotate and feel what you feel also up. So same arm as the leg that's to the side is going to be the arm, and then rotate that. Perfect. From here, I want you to crease at your hips, push that hip back. Okay, keep your hands here. Just notice, look up at that arm and notice where it is. It's not over to the side, knuckles are up, it's in a straight line. Sweep and paint your fingernails down your thigh and take it out. Okay, ew, what is that? There's something ew, on the floor. Okay, now from here, what we're going to do is you're going to rock that back and bring it to your T here, right? You have your arms in a T. From the side, looks like this. You're here. I have this nice T, okay? I'm keeping that hip, and I'm going to rock and come back up. Let's just do that without weight right now, noticing what that feels like. Rock, back up. You should be looking at your arm, because if you're down, you're likely doing this. So rotate, hinge back, find the strength, push away. Keep that activation. Keep this big toe rooted to the ground. It will change where your rock back is. Awesome. Take a moment and just bring yourself up to a tall kneel. You'll notice what leg was back, what arm was overhead. Feel the difference from side to side. Okay. And what we're going to do is just take this and bring this leg straight up. Okay. So notice I'm not going to come around the corner. I'm going to invite this with a squeeze of this glute. This comes straight up. From here, I'm going to have a nice hip flexor stretch. Slide it back in and bring it back up. I want you to really be aware of what's happening on the other side as we slide that in and out. We're just going to do 3. Keep those lower abdominals on. Good. From here, you should feel a good push through that toe, and this hip flexor feels like it has some taut tension. And careful that I didn't do it and bring my rib cage open. It is very subtle. So I'm here. Now what you're going to do is take this foot from the glute bridge, push the ball of the foot down, drag your hamstring, and then slightly lean forward and stand up. From here, take that leg straight back, feel that hip flexor stretch. You want to really feel the scissor of that. Am I scissoring through? So take that, and then there'll be that slight hinge from the rock back and press through. Take that back. Feel the push of this, the pull of this, the rock of the beast, and then come on up. Beautiful. We're going to go ahead and do that on the other side. So coming on in, noticing that we have the heel and the knee lined up. We're going to take that foot, remind what we felt in the glute bridge, push through the ball of the toe, drag the hamstring back. Okay, this arm's going to be up. What do? We rotate and slightly look up through the corner of our eye. Put this hand, we don't have to look here, and crease my hips, slide and paint my fingernails down and take a nice, there's just gross stuff here. I'm gonna back up a bit so I have that nice, and then from here, looking up, keeping that foot rooted, pushing back, and then finding that T. And you maybe even ask for a little bit more rotation here. Good. We're just gonna get 5 of those. Gorgeous. And then bring that up. Good. From here, we're gonna come to that tall kneel. Same leg's gonna come up and we're just gonna slide that forward. Feel this other side really glute squeeze, toe pushed, rib cage, pelvis stacked. Maybe you need those arms out for balance. This side's harder for me. Slide that directly straight back to find yourself in that tall kneel. Go ahead and notice what you need to do on this side to move this leg. That's why we're doing that. Just 3. Slide that in. Good. 1 more. And we'll hold ourselves here. Noticing what that felt like on here. We're now in that front lunge. When do? Push the ball of the foot, drag that heel back. Holding that, slight lean forward, push through the front leg. Good. Pull that back down. We're just getting 3 of those. Now, if you need to, put a little bit of pressure on yourself, but not this. Okay, so pull that back. Use this with an active shoulder, this one on. You don't want to be flailing here. How do I turn my upper body on to help me pop out of that? Noticing, is my upper body helping? Good. Awesome. Some good orientation, activation work there. Gotta get my back open. Awesome. Good. We're just gonna come to a stand. Notice how that feels. All right, and we're gonna take our weight and we are going to bring ourselves from the top down in a Turkish get up. Okay, we're gonna apply that mechanics. You're gonna take your time with me. We're gonna breathe. Okay, so let's go ahead and just find that kettlebell on the side. Bring it into that rack position first. And then a press. Okay, from here, we are going to, I'm just gonna bring myself a bit forward. We're gonna take that leg back that we just practiced. Everyone pull yourself down. Remember to use a scissor. Now don't go. From here, you're gonna either wiper or step out, okay? To find us in that posture that we were just in. From here, what do we do with this foot? Push and pull. Hamstrings are on. Rotate, find your crease. Push your hip back, paint your nails, and find that solid base here with a rotation. You're gonna go ahead, kick that leg through, sit down, keep tall. Think about your side plank. We're here. And then can you roll that spine down just like we did in those spinal rolls? From here, we're gonna take that hip like we did in that glute bridge, okay? But over to a diagonal, over towards this toe, okay? We're gonna come on in at the same time, punch that up, come to our side plank and bring ourselves back to this. Yep, up. And then notice your hand. Your hand is here. It's staying, you're not moving it. You're gonna push away and rotate that hand. Notice where your arm is. Do you see it? Do you feel it in space, or have you disconnected from your body? From here, bridge up and slide that leg back in to find yourself in that posture that we already primed and programmed. You're going to hinge it back and bring yourself back up. Find yourself in that lunge that we practiced. Scissor, put the other fist on, press that out. Bring it to your shoulder and back down. Nice work. How'd that feel? Good, 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 good. We're gonna go ahead and do this on the other side now. Having that closer to that side. Okay, let's apply the mechanics that we felt in the Turkish get-up. So what are my feet doing here? Can I push my hips back like I did in that like slide back that we did, that rock back? From here, let's go ahead, bring it up, press it up. Again, I'm gonna move forward a bit here. Notice that my belly's on nice and tight. I'm gonna take that leg and slide it back while this foot is on. Okay, notice this hip flexor here. It's strong. I'm gonna take this leg over here, rotate slightly, look up, reset my hips, push that hip back, slide through my thigh, and find that T. From here, pushing away the foot, the hand, and keeping that arm straight. Kick my leg out on a diagonal, keeping my shoulders away from my ears. From here, find your side plank. Good. Roll that spinal roll down while your feet are all engaged to the floor. Good. From here, remember, glute bridge by pushing. Pull with that side plank. Arm up. Good. Notice my hand stays here on the ground. Push and turn like you're squishing a bug. From here, bridge up. Slide that in. Find your posture. Might take a little bit of tweaking. Slide the hip back. Come on. And then take a nice little step forward while that other side was on. From here, remember what we do. We scissor. Slight lean forward into the hip. Press that up. Good. Pull it down. Make sure you set it down pretty. There's something sticking on the floor. It's so gross. Okay. How did that feel? Lots of time under tension there. Lots of orientating. A really good way to bring it the mind-body connection. Can you see why Turkish get-ups are so powerful? How can I apply that to my work today? What are my feet doing? What does it feel like when I use my breath? What does it feel like to add rotation, tension in my body? All right, so take some intentions, set them. We are going to move on in to our next piece of work here, and we are going to do some work on the cleans, okay? So let's just go into some pogos. We're gonna take our nice core strength that we put on in our Turkish get-up, and we're gonna come into pogos, reminding yourself to use that breath to push in your guts, right? So fill yourself with air, and then exhale to feel like they're being supported, okay? So you're filling that airbags with strength, okay? So let's go ahead, find ourselves in some pogos here, all right? Good. Now we're going to add a little bit of fun. So take a break. Notice what you felt there. We're going to add it to forward and backwards. Okay, so we're just going to go forwards and backwards. Core on nice and tight. Good. Take a nice little break. Now we're going to go on diagonal. Okay, so on a diagonal. Good. And now we're going to scissor our legs. Make sure you don't have things in the way. For now, we're going to take those scissors and move laterally. Beautiful. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and get our kettlebell. You want a medium-sized kettlebell for this. We're going to come on in and lean it up, but work on the hinge drop. Okay, so the drop part. How quick can we let that kettlebell? So we're going to be in this posture, and we're going to let the kettlebell kind of, all you're doing is taking your hands from the side and letting it drop so that you can catch the front, or the top, sorry, of the handle. So you're at the sides of the handles, and then you let the kettlebell drop, and then you would catch it. What we tend to do is either push it out and catch it, so we don't boom out, or we just take our shoulders and do this scoop. So our goal is to avoid that. That's why we're practicing this, plus being able to yield the weight in the bottom. So come on up here. You're in this goblet position. Going to keep those elbows down. That's my goal from here. And I'm going to see how quickly I can inhale and find myself in this posture. I'll exhale back up, but I'm really focusing on an open chest, rib cage stacked, and then just trusting gravity to let that kettlebell fall, and I land here. Okay, so just go for 5 of those. I'm going to watch and witness you. Good. So really, that's our focus. Don't let it touch the ground. Good. How quick can you catch it before it catches the ground? Play chicken with it. Yeah, nice. Noticing that happen. Inhale as you do that, okay? Inhale as you do that. Perfect. Let's go back to the pogos. Back to the pogos. Here we go. And we're going to do 10 here. And then 10 forward and backwards. And then diagonal. Good. And scissor. Careful you don't have anything beside you, and go lateral. Good. Take a moment and notice how your body feels after that. Really lean into the sensations. Your body loves that. That's going to help your central nervous system. Okay? It is going to help wake it up and feel invigorated. And it's just important that you let it be felt so that it can integrate what you just did. We're going to take what you just felt, that energy within you, those sensations, that breath work that felt good, and apply it. Okay? So we're just doing one more round of these drops. How quickly can I drop in? Use your mechanics here. All right, so really use that breath on the way up. Think of the work we just did in our feet when we were pushing out of that lunge. What happened in the hips, what happened in the feet, what happened in the breath with the core. Awesome. Give yourself a couple more reps. I really want that chest to be up as you drop down. I don't want you to drop it like this. Okay? Notice that core on. Excellent. Good. And take a nice little break. We're going to apply this into our core work. Okay, so we're going to just take this in nice. We're going to go for 3 in a row. You're just going to stay with me. I want you to do less thinking, more feeling. Okay, so we're going to apply what we just felt. We're going to go for single arm deadlift. Okay, so you're going to come on in and go for 3 single arm deadlifts. Inhale, exhale. Okay, on that 4th one, what we're going to do is we're going to come on up and bring it into a gunslinger. So I want you to notice here, okay? So just for a minute, notice I did not bring it like this. It's not across my belly. It literally is here. Notice how close that arm is. I also didn't come and rotate my body and bring it around. It's a subtle shoulder blade squeeze. Okay, so let's go ahead and use our drop that we just did. Keep that elbow there, down, and then up. Notice if you rotate. We don't want to rotate. How do we change that? Use your breath and push your feet. Good. Pause here. And what we're going to do is you're here, and I want you to just take a moment to notice I can loosen my hand and pop it into this front rack position. Elbows towards the hip, knuckles underneath the chin. Okay, from here, watch this elbow. It drives back. I'm just taking some of this weight. I'm coming back to here. I'm going to drop. I'm going to come on up. I'm going to go ahead and just pattern this out to notice where is that elbow, where's that knuckle, what's the belly doing. Okay, from here, drive to start without the hand. Drive the elbow back. Notice when you need the drop of the bell handle and down. Let's do it one more time. So up, Notice here, this weightlessness, I let go and then I just bring it back into that front rack position. Let's do it back. So let gravity take it, take it, take it. Notice when you need to hold it and bring it down. Awesome. We're going to put that all together now. That is the dead clean. Can you go ahead, use your training wheel as you need, come on up and make it all those points hit. If you need to, use support, pause and notice if you did it or not. Okay, don't just automatically go to it. From here will be your most important part. Am I letting that drop, 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 drop? Elbow goes back, come up. Can I play chicken? Chicken, 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 drop. Up, chicken, 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 drop. And then from here, can I really start to think? I'm going to come on up, pop my hips open, do a nice little row. Nice little row. I want to come and see it. Great. So watch that shoulder creeping up near the ear as you go down, Kate. That's better. Nice. Good. Let's go ahead and do it on the other side. Okay, so 3 single arm deadlifts. What does it feel like to hold that shoulder back, push through both feet, keep this core on as I have the bell just in one arm? What am I doing with the other arm? Okay. Next one's going to go into those gunslingers. Here. Drop it down. Gunslinger. Drop it down. Hold the gunslinger here. Let's support that position right from here. Let it drop. Feel that elbow back. Notice when I put my elbow back and my hips still stay forward, my rib cage stack. Drop it down. Good. Take that time to feel and own those positions. And then clean it up and start to smooth it out for yourself. Remembering that front rack position. I want you to imagine that there's an orange in here. You're squeezing it, driving that elbow down. Knuckles towards the ceiling. We have a nice rounded wrist. Okay, so really noting into there. Then play a little bit of chicken. While I have that, can my elbow start to go back, 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 and drop. Keep that in. Elbow back, 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 drop. Good. Awesome. Take that moment now to feel it on the way up. So I come here, open my hips, give a little bit of an elbow back, little bit of oh, I hit my own hip. So I'm looking at you guys. Nice. See how it is. Gorgeous. Good. So try and not use that hand, okay? Really try not to use that hand. Yeah. So being able to use more power, because when you're using your hands, that's letting me know that you're using your brain and your shoulders. So it should feel very weightless. You're stopping it by your brain. Yeah. There you go. Do you feel that difference, Chris? It's so interesting on how when we come into our minds and into those external cues, which we need to have, absolutely. But when we do, can you notice that we resist our own strength? We slow ourselves down. We need to have those things, but we have to come with the felt sense. So come to an external, know the cues, but feel them. Because if you don't feel them, you're constantly going to be your own resistance. Your shoulders are going to lock up. You're going to be overthinking and not trusting. So we're going to take this in. I invite you to get these to be a little bit heavier, okay? And we are going to come in and do 3 cleans into 3 front squats. Take a break just on one side. Okay? So I want you to notice if you are thinking you have to still nail in the technique. No, you don't. Stop over dictating yourself. Your body felt it. Don't micromanage it. Let it be free and grow and be what it's meant to be. Okay? Don't let it feel so tense and micromanaged. So you're going to come on in, find yourself in that position. You're going to get 3 beautiful cleans. And 3 beautiful squats. Keeping that front rack position. And make sure you set it down pretty. Good. Noticing when you feel like you're done. So that's just one other thing I want you to notice. We get those 3 squats. You've done them beautiful. Then you go. You still need to come here, let the elbow drop, and drop it down. Every time you have the opportunity to program and create a new way of your body patterning, right? Okay, so other side. Come to your sensations. How does this feel? Dropping it down. Nice work. Awesome. How does that feel? Good. Okay, so we're going to take this into a single leg deadlift. Okay, but I want you to reset it every time. If you need a kickstand, that's awesome. But we want to make sure we keep those hips nice and square. Okay, so I'll show the staggered like kickstand one first. So the goal is here. Well, sorry, kickstand's gonna be quite close. Hinge that out. Grab that kettlebell. Notice it's not on the ground. And or actually I want it to be on the ground. Sorry. I want you to get it from a dead stop every time. So you may need to bend your knee a little bit more, push that. And you're gonna, or you can rise up the floor. So put your kettlebell on a yoga block or a book. Okay, but I want you to let go. Notice the setup, come back up. Okay, if that feels okay for you, you could then start to lift that leg up, find that balance, reset, find the strength, lift up. Only 5 reps on each side, okay? Good, I like that we're doing some balance there. Notice that that back leg's not taking work. Shoulders away from the ear that's holding that kettlebell. Try not to be pulling up with your traps. Good. Notice our feet. The body knows how to feel this. Give it opportunity to play and practice and feel it rather than feeling like it's always doing it wrong because someone's always hovering, witnessing, correcting. Don't be that overcorrector. Be that person that like gives freedom to explore and be creative and be curious. Good. Ooh, yeah, I see it's working. A little buddy shakes, hamstring shakes. Good job. We're going to move that over to the other side. That's the same arm that you just had, Chris. So you got to switch arms. Pretty sure it is. Yeah, because I don't want the same leg and same arm. It's opposite arm and leg. Hey. Yeah. Nice. You're killing it. Now, careful, you're putting a lot of weight in that back leg, Chris. So I want you to just really focus. That's just a tiptoe on that back. Yep, that's more like it. Good. Let that knee travel a little forward. There you go. Gorgeous. Nice. Nice work. How's that feeling? Good. Okay. We're gonna take it into a row next, okay? So we'll just do this this will be really helpful for the next clean. We're gonna use these into like gorilla rows, so kind of like silo, like plyometrics, like jumping rows, okay? So coming on in, finding that position, and you're gonna row and then catch it. So feel that elbow come back, feel that weightlessness, and controlling it, shoulders away from the ears, pulling that through your shoulders. Let's just go ahead and get 5 per side. It's got to be quicker up. It's got to be quicker. Can you notice that? Yep, there you go. Trust, and then try not to use momentum. It's not the shoulders, it's the shoulder blades. That's it. Good. Take a little shake out. We got one more round of this. Okay, so you're gonna go for 3 cleans into 3 squats. Make it heavier. This is your last one here. Okay. What are you finishing with? What do you want to surprise yourself with? Okay. Sometimes adding, we don't know what we're capable of. Oh yeah, bye, Chris. See you. Mm-hmm. We don't know what we're capable of until we put ourselves under that new comfort zone. Okay. So just noting what that feels like. Good. Feeling those feet, feeling that breath. This is like our celebration round of everything that we've been doing. Notice that last breath though, Kate. Remember, you just shouldered it down. So you got to drop it down like that, what we've been practicing. Yeah, that's it. Good. Elbow will drive back. Have trust that gravity's going to help it. And you are the strong person that will yield it. You'll be able to apply it right away. Good. That's the set down we want. Beautiful. All right. Then just a reminder, our next one was those single leg deadlifts. Okay. So finding yourself with that kettlebell at your ankle bone. It's going to come down and hit the ground every time. Take a moment to notice. I find I like to just push that big toe into the ground and really exaggerate it. It makes me to feel the sensation of this hip coming forward as opposed to being out. So I really try and bring this big toe to face and remind my hip to do that. Okay, from here, hinge that out. Maybe you have to bend your knee a little bit more. Turn this leg on. Really finding that control. Noticing you have to have all parts of the body on board to find that balance. Trying to go back to that ankle bone every time. Shoulders stay away from the ears. Knee stays tracking over the toe. Notice if those toes are crunched up. We really want to try and avoid the toes crunching up. Spread the toes at the ball of the foot. Finding that other side. Kettlebell at the ankle bone. Taking a moment on that setup is so key. Shoving that hip back, knee slightly forward. And push away that foot on the floor. Keeping that nice active shoulder, that foot flex at the back, that toe pointing down towards the floor. Whew, lot to do and talk. Really feeling into that same glute bridge muscles, that toe, that foot. Pausing when you notice that you're not in control. Pause and find it. Find control. Adding a little bit of support if you need it. Awesome. Once you've done that, shake yourself out. We have that gorilla row. Well, not really gorilla row because that's 2 of them. Sorry, it's that plyometric row. Okay. Feel into that new spaces you've created. Think that. Come on in and feel shoulders away from the ears. Notice the glide of those shoulder blades. Feel that weightlessness that you've created. Use your breath. Good. Just 10 reps there. Take a moment and notice how you feel. Maybe do a little swaying and shaking to get that heart rate down. Maybe it's figure eights to feel into those new areas of your hips. We're just going to finish off with 2 inchworm flows to recover ourselves, to get our heart rate down, and to celebrate new spaces and release any tension that we brought into the body and invite it to let go. So same as we started. Notice any size, any extra movement within the movement. You're literally exploring freedom here, okay? I'm going to put my knee down so I feel like it's not as much work. I'm going to add a little bit of rocking and feel into those spaces in the hips. Notice the shoulder that's moving so much more smooth. And again, orientating myself back into this space, right? Noticing how the room looks now as this new version of myself. How does it smell? What do I hear here? And even flavors. How does the floor feel? How does the coming on in, noticing new spaces in the bottom? Maybe there's a bit of like resistance, the body going, oh, what? We just worked really hard. And you just say, yeah, thank you. Here, let go. Let go and recover. Nice little hang and a spinal roll, vertebrae by vertebrae. One more to really nail in this new version of you. Integrate all these new sensations, emotions, thoughts, the new postures that are available to you. Maybe noticing this new images you have of yourself. Adding any kind of intuitive movement that your body's asking for. You don't feel the need to stick to this dictated inchworm flow. Maybe yours looks like something completely different. Hmm. Take a moment just to make sure that you are so clear of this version of yourself. Really tap into the sensations that you're feeling, the emotions, that subconscious part of us that we barely take time to notice. There's such wisdom in there. Let the wisdom of this movement and what your body's making sense of it and speaking to you, and really let it sink in so that the mind can witness it. Because remember the brain's mission statement: seek pleasure, avoid pain, and do so with as little energy as possible. What did we learn that's going to meet that mission statement today? And how are you going to take that as you move into your day? Have the most magical, amazing day.